State, their starting center, who has missed a couple of games here. So missing her second in a row. So Northeastern and Boston College, and the visitors in the road black uniforms today. 3-6 record. They've dropped their last two, though they have not played since they lost to UMass on December 3rd. Nearly taken away, but then taken right back.
Great help by Tomlinson there. We can see the energy is intense to start this game.
And then a foul, Nariyah Simmons, the grad student. So a 2-0 start for the Huskies. They put a little bit of pressure on, and Simmons commits the foul on Tomlinson. Is that one of those early in a game kind of established?
Absolutely. Simmons has a team high 17 steals and getting quite a bit of disruption on defense. Tomlinson runs this team with such pace, letting her know early that this is not going to be easy getting the ball up the court.
There's Aaron Halp, who gets another start today for Boston College. Tomlinson kicks. Here's McGee for two, and that's good. The senior Eva McGee, who's averaging a little over 5 points a game, ties it at 2.
Great example of how Tomlinson gets feet in the paint and gets her teammate for an in-rhythm shot.
Here is Bodwan Foliaki to the basket. And
rhythm shot, beautiful execution there. Huge defensive effort on the other end to get the charge. This is a great energy from the Eagles to start the game.
And a couple of early fouls go against Northeastern. Alp was trying to call for it in the corner. Eagles will work their offense. Here is Anderson, who finds Halp. 10 to shoot for Boston College. Anderson for 3, and that's in and out. That's something that Coach Mack is really looking for out of her team. Feels like there's some good three-point shooting on this roster. She's been saying that all year. And can they really make that a factor? Good work on the defensive end.
Absolutely. When the team's in rhythm and the shots are falling, they're in great shape.
That was a good look in transition. Just didn't go for help. Now the Eagles can reset off an offensive rebound. Amira Anderson back in the starting lineup today. Anderson going up in his foul.
That category last game against Massachusetts. So good to neutralize her there for the Eagles.
Couple of free throws for Anderson. Freshman, as we said, back in the starting lineup today. It started the first couple. 4-2 lead for Boston College. Collins driving to the paint, works it back for Holohan. No good, but an offensive rebound, and the putback no good again from Tramble. So Cameron Collins has done exactly what you'd expect so far. Has 9 points. And Northeastern has a 4-point lead. Collins 4 of 5 from the floor. Huskies as a team, 62% from the field. That's a good look inside for McGee.
Nice finish under pressure. Almost triple team there under the rim.
This is old school basketball. Only 2 made threes. Everything else from the line or inside the arc. Collins, 16 to shoot. A fastball inside and the putback no good. McGee the defense on Taylor Holohan.
It was good help from McGee there, helping to force the kick.
Ten to shoot with under a minute to go in this first quarter. Here's Greer for 3. That's strong. Kind of forced late in the timer. Kelly's inside, got it. Boy, they've had some nifty, kind of awkward's not the right word, but non-traditional looking shots that have found a way to go.
Really, truly. It's a good patience to really keep pivoting until you get the look that you want to then get the shot off.
Eagles can't hold for a final shot. 4-point game. Despite the fact that BC's just 4 of 13 from the floor. Foul. But first
space that the Eagles want to be in, putting pressure on the defense.
Here is Collins. Little stutter step. Collins falling away. No good. Even that almost went.
Potentially a very close game.
So 22-18 is where we start. Again, a lot of fouls early in that first quarter allowed Boston College to get to the line, and it was really their shooting at the foul line that has kept them in this game. Just 4 of 13 from the floor. See if they can adjust that here in Northeastern. We'll see if they can keep up a really efficient first quarter. There's Tomlinson, who's no good on the jumper.
The Huskies there changing up their defense, obviously adjusting after fouls in the first quarter, trying to pack in the paint.
Here's a drive, and the basket is good. Nariyah Simmons has 4. Eagles going quickly, and Jocelyn Greer has 5 points. Yep.
Nice take from Greer. Way to attack. Even off of a make, you can still have transition offense, and Greer did a great job of taking advantage of the defense not being set.
That's been a conversation all year, trying to get Boston College that transition offense a little bit more efficient. And that time, like you said, even off a make was really the first time they beat the defense down. Held ball here.
And get going the other way.
So 5 points for Jocelyn Greer, someone who's going to have to step up the absence of Carmody today. And there's a whistle away from the shoot, 56% in the first quarter. You feel like you're probably up by quite a bit. But the 9 free throws for Boston College.
That's huge. Huge to give yourselves opportunities to get to the line. If you're getting to the free throw line, that's putting pressure on the defense, having to adjust, maybe some players in foul trouble. It changes everything.
Here's Simmons, thought about the 3, instead kicks for Matthews. Back for Simmons for 3. That was a little short. Sure. I think the thing, we made mention of it a little bit with Collins, but they're not forcing the three-point shot at all right now. And it's really been effective for them.
Right. That shooting percentage is a reflection of shooting in rhythm, working the ball around, getting high percentage shots, really being discerning with the ball. That builds your confidence. You can see it go through the net.
And quickly down the floor. You talk about beating the defense. That's what Taylor Holohan does.
It's a great passing break by the Huskies there.
Eagles try to do the same, but an offensive foul. So 6-point lead for Northeastern. So BC has the lead for the first time since they were up 8-2, and Northeastern went on that run. Here's Holohan inside, didn't have it that time. Collins, wild shot working against Anderson. Was not there, and now Tomlinson on the run. Finds Anderson in transition, and the 3 is no good. Collins off. So now all of a sudden, like we said, sometimes that field goal percentage naturally comes down a little bit.
Rare miss from Collins in transition.
Northeastern now under 30% from the floor in this second quarter after they were nearly 60% in the first quarter. Tomlinson, it opens up for her, just couldn't hit. Anderson, though, with an offensive rebound, and we got bodies flying everywhere.
To get the rebound makes a huge difference.
Another
from Collins, and draws the foul.
So once again, another player with 2 fouls for Northeastern. Justice Tramble, the sophomore.
She had a great game last game for the Huskies. Great look inside.
How about that? Kiera trying to get back into form. That's the bucket, but the free throw no good. BC by 3 with 1:12 remaining here in the first half, and it's Matthews from the free throw line who scores.
Good drive to get house momentum going the other way. Pulls back for the score.
Anderson walks into a 3. That's no good. McDaniel had a piece of the rebound, read it well, but didn't have positioning to really secure it. So it's Matthews who brings it down for Northeastern. He's on it once again. Inside, a block by Edmonds. Tramble follows it up, though. It rolls off. And a held ball possession.
Especially under the rim.
And Northeastern just trying to find their offense again. Just 1 for their last 8 from the floor.
This defensive look seems to really be giving them some trouble. A lot of pressure on their scorers. Eagles are doing a good job of helping each other out and rotating. We'll see if they can adjust.
9 to shoot for Tomlinson. At a 4-second difference here at the end of the second quarter. Got to go with 3 on the timer. Anderson, 1 extra pass. Greer for 3 is no good. Final 2 seconds of the half. Simmons has to put it up. It would count. It almost went. One good news for Boston College is, we told you again, remember BC's without Lemon Carmody today. We did not see Ava McGee for most of that second quarter. They were working on her kind of over in the training area. She had taken her jersey off, but now has just emerged from the tunnel with her jersey back on. So obviously that's another piece and a key one at that for BC potentially here in the third quarter. So we start that pass, hit the rim almost. Maybe not the rim, but just the backboard. Keeps it going for Matthews, who's no good on the 2.
Great job by McDaniel to secure that rebound.
And then a deep pass towards the end zone, and Haupt got bumped.
But great to see that both Anderson and Haupt just looking to get out and run in transition.
It was like Drake May trying to go deep. I guess that's who we say now for that, right? That's where we are.
Here we are.
Here's Matthews. And that's no good from 2.
Again, second opportunities are going to be the key in the second half.
Eagles led in second chance points, 7-0, as we talked about. Anderson goes and finds this one. Oh, Rolf's wide open in transition and knocks down the 3.
Nice look by Rolf, really building off of the momentum she had last game. Getting a good transition 3.
So Boston College leads by 4. Remember, they built a 6-point lead at 8-2 very early on in this game. But this is their largest since that point. And a foul goes against Jocelyn Greer. That's her 3rd. To the corner. Collins in and out. Offensive rebound. Trample got it. A sophomore has done really a lot of work inside. That is her first points of the game, coming off of her 8th rebound already.
The Eagles have really packed it in the paint, making it difficult to find Trample there. She does a nice job of just with poise going back up.
Kelly's no good on the floater. Trample again. Kept her feet still. Simmons, yes. Nariyah Simmons has 7.
Nice job by the Huskies getting the ball inside. Trample finds her open player. Gets the Eagles having to scramble. Inside out is really tough to defend.
And again, for the second time, Jocelyn Greer answers a 3 with one of her own. Nariyah Simmons with 10 points after back-to-back 3s.
Good job recognizing that she really didn't have much pressure on her as the Eagles are really packing it in the paint.
Rolf for 3. That was a good look as well. Collins goes and finds the rebound. By the way, no Athena Tomlinson for Boston College on the bench right now, so that's something we will keep an eye on for BC, their starting point guard. We didn't see anything at the end of that second quarter. She obviously was banged up much earlier with that cut that was cleaned up early in the first. Northeastern has the lead back after Tramble now with 4 points. 42-39 game with the Huskies in the lead, and McDaniel has it taken away by Simmons. Kelly's gets it forward. Bodwan Foliaki, who is in foul trouble in that first half.
Involved that just builds confidence on offense and a lot of energy. If the Eagles can get a score can really settle the pace of the game here.
By the way, we mentioned Athena Tomlinson had not been on the bench. She has just emerged from the tunnel and is about to check into the game. So a positive sign for Boston College there. But right now, they got to find their offense once again. Northeastern's made 4 shots in a row from the floor. So they have been a little bit streaky, right? 60% basically in that first quarter. 5 of 9 to start here in the third.
They have some of their key players back on the floor after some foul trouble, putting pressure on the Eagles defense.
Here's Bodwan Foliaki, goes back for Simmons, who's already made a couple of threes here in the third and has another. Nariyah Simmons has 13.
Great patience. Way to hit the shot under pressure.
47-39, Northeastern the lead. They're on a 10-0 run. Greer short. 3-on-3 back for Northeastern, maybe a 4-on-3. Kick to the corner, extra pass. Kelly's is good.
Great transition offense from the Huskies there, taking advantage of the no bucket by the Eagles on the other end.
It feels like their transition game has really gotten to a different place here in this third quarter.
They're absolutely dictating where they want to go. Not deterred by Eagles pressure at all.
The key back in. This is a held ball. And Pizzette. So Boston College possession. Here's Tomlinson. Nice design off the inbounds. And Tomlinson hits a crucial 3.
That's always a relief when you can get a shot coming out of the break after a run.
That's all coaching right there, right? Really nice design, drawn up well.
Yep.
Three-pointer no good here, but another offensive rebound by Tramble. A little strong on the second effort, and then a foul.
And the other way, this is exactly how the Eagles can turn this around.
Tramble's up to 11 rebounds. And 6 of those are on the offensive glass.
Oh, good tip. Try to slow it down.
And Anderson does eventually get it, but it's taken right away by Simmons. What an effort. Collins wide open. Short that time. But Simmons is the only one there for an offensive rebound. Boy, everything was out of sequence there. And all of a sudden it creates a wide open look. Wide open offensive rebound.
Such a scramble. Nice job by Edmonds to get a look, get a hand up for Collins.
Collins finding something is short with just 1 on the timer. And here goes Tomlinson. Eagles trying to find their way back in it. Hits the trailer, and now Greer. And DC will reset.
There's
Tomlinson
mismatch
inside for Edmonds and takes advantage of it, just as you're saying.
Great finish. Love seeing that position from Edmonds. Great duck in. Composure under pressure to finish over her mismatch.
BC high for Edmonds. So from 11, down to 6. Simmons, though, wide open, couldn't hit.
Oh, Eagles got lucky there. She's already hit so many, one just like that.
Yep. Anderson driving. Anderson a little strong. Northeastern can run back the other way. A smart decision by Kelly's to slow down a little bit. 2:25 to go here in the third. Huskies by 6.
Tomlinson's presence clearly making a difference. Just having your primary ball handler back in the game, huge confidence boost.
Tramble. 3 come to her.
Generate offense of their own. Great effort by the Eagles there at the end of the quarter.
So, and the effort, obviously the importance of it too, just to gain a little bit of momentum. And I think you talked about Tomlinson being on the floor once again after she was not out there to start the third. That's a nice look from Cameron Collins, who now has 11. That's actually her first points of the second half. Or 1 for each team after it felt like that was the majority of the conversation, especially in terms of BC's offense.
Absolutely.
In the first half.
We got a lot more flow in the third quarter.
A steal by Collins, and then the hold against McDaniel. Foul coming back on the Otto McDaniel. Something to watch, and we'll take you through as we go through the course of this fourth quarter. Bodwan Foliaki thought about the pass, instead spins back. Matthews gives it back to her. 15 to shoot, double team comes. Got it inside, but first Greer knocked it away. Again, Bodwan Foliaki, and then,
Absolutely. In the second half, that gives everyone a little bit more breathing room, but we noticed that all those players are some of the top contributors for each team.
Couple of free throws, and 54-48. First 4 points of this fourth quarter belong to the Huskies. Nice little screen there. They tried that pick and roll. Pass wasn't quite there. Greer for three. Off.
Oh, good look.
And then a foul on the rebound, though.
Once the ball comes off the rim.
McDaniel short. But Edmonds just takes it away. And Edmonds will go to the line.
Love seeing. Good rebound by Anderson.
So 3:09 to go. Eagles have to find a way to get some of their offense. I mean, they did hit those couple of threes, but then Northeastern's continued to score on their end. Tomlinson thought about it. Instead drives, hanging in the air, and no good.
Not only do the Eagles need to score, they need to try to do so pretty quickly. We're going to start to feel the time crunch here at the end of the game. And Northeastern's going to use the clock to their advantage, be patient.
Simmons, who was so crucial in that third quarter, taken away by McDaniel. So Tiani McDaniel out front. And a quick timeout. Kelly's inside, Tramble no. And Northeastern is able to dig it out of that scrum.
Good job by Rolfe to not foul at the end, but tough that the Eagles couldn't come up with that possession.
2:06 to go and a foul committed by Greer. Deserves some credit for here is that, remember, Boston College got to the free throw line so much in that first quarter. They really, as much as Northeastern has committed some fouls, they have not been shooting fouls. They have not gotten to the line since the first quarter like they did in the first. They still have more free throw attempts in the first quarter than they've had since.
And when they do, they maximize it. We've seen very few missed free throws on their end.
Whistle came before the shot. Foul up top. A little strong on the second one. Simmons the rebound. Got a little bit out in front there. Eagles trying to trap. 1:32 remaining.
Eagles got to try to get the ball back as quickly as they can here.
They will not foul for the moment. Down by 10, and now they do with Haupt. Don't think that was intentional. She doesn't, so it's 11 points, but just below her season average. 1:14 remaining in the fourth quarter. 69-58 Northeastern leads Boston College, and McDaniel jumping in, and
second look now.
Haupt inbounds, gets it to Rolfe. Good job there by Simmons staying with Haupt. That might have been designed to go right back to her in the corner, and Rolfe can't hit inside. Under a minute to go, taken away by McDaniel. 2-on-1 back, McDaniel scores.
Good finish. Who were in foul trouble early.
And they do get it into Tramble. The Eagles thought they had fouled there. It was not called. And then it was nearly taken away by McDaniel, who then is called for the foul against Tramble. 1 of 2. Has 9 points. It's a 10-point game. Tomlinson got to go to the basket. Stripped. And they'll say it's off. And they, that's thrown away. Upper knee. So maybe that's maybe a ball don't lie situation, as the kids say.
Exactly.
Haupt's got to go. Inside, drives and is fouled.
Good take to cut through the mid-length.
Kelly's makes a really good catch, gets it forward to Tramble. That's brilliantly done. And then the foul committed. Can't do it much. 0 for 2 at the line, and McDaniel secures the rebound, gets a quick timeout. So College. We'll see what the design is. Got to go quickly. 8-point game. McDaniel gives it back for Rolf. Her three is good. It bounced in off the front rim. It's a 5-point game. Quick inbound for Northeastern, and Simmons is fouled.
Well, that's the best players in the country. Huge opportunity for upsets and big wins.
There's McDaniel quickly to basket. So again, BC scores out of a timeout. 15.8 to go, and it's inbounded, and Rolf commits the foul. So it's Kaylee Baudouin figures now. Eagles got to get it in. It's Tomlinson. Remember, BC does not have a timeout. Just 10 seconds to go. McDaniel launching for three. It's off. Tomlinson a rebound. Gets it out to Anderson. Got to go quickly. McDaniel for three. No good again. Time's going to run out, and Northeastern comes into Conti and beats Boston.